What's up, Tayvion? What's up, man? Can you hear me? How's it going, everybody? How's it going tonight? We will be joined by LSU tight end commit, 2024 commit, Tayvion Galloway, number one player in the state of Ohio, one of the top rated, ranked, tight ends in the country. But to my eye, probably number one, number two, right there with Tradez Green. I mean, and we're talking LSU has a good chance to get both of probably the top two tight ends in the country in the 2024 class. Pretty nuts. And Tayvion Galloway, big hit with the fans already, has a huge social media presence out of Chillicothe, Ohio. Very interesting player to me, very interesting player, Tayvion Galloway. We did an interview with him a year back, and love to talk to him again, see how things have kind of progressed a year further. Tayvion, what's up, my man?
What's good? How you doing?
Yo, can you hear us, Tayvion?
Yeah, I can hear. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay.
How's it going?
Things are good. How are you?
Fantastic, my man. How did your last visit at LSU go?
It went great. It was just another chance to see the atmosphere. I actually got to watch two of the baseball games. Whenever they played Tennessee in that series, they went 2-1 in the series, and that was just a really good experience to see because up here in Ohio, people like baseball and all, but it's definitely not the same vibe as it is down south in the SEC. It's just really a great atmosphere.
Absolutely. And you posted something where you were sitting, I think, watching that game with Brian Kelly's son, Patrick Kelly, who,
Yep.
in our first interview, you had mentioned he was one of your main recruiters. How has he progressed as a recruiter, kind of a year on recruiting you?
He's really just gotten to know me a lot more. I feel like we built a real good and tight connection. I really like him as a person. And he's a smart guy. He used to work with the he used to work a little bit with the tight ends, but now he's been promoted to more of a recruiting role. So, but he's always in my phone, and I'm always talking to him. We keep in good touch.
A lot of people don't realize that actually, Brian Kelly's son is
Yeah.
actually on the staff.
Whenever I was at the baseball game, it's funny because I was actually talking to some fans, and I was letting them know like who he was, and they really didn't believe me. They was like, "You're lying." And I was like, "No, that's the truth." I was like, "Look him up."
Yeah, even his daughter's on staff as well. It's like and I think John Jancic's son is also on the LSU staff right now. Oh, sorry, that's my dog going.
You're fine.
My bad there. Has anything really changed about the LSU staff and environment around the building since your prior visits?
There's been a few small changes, but no, nothing big. Obviously, we don't have our D line coach anymore. We're looking to add someone elite there, obviously, but that's really it.
It seems to be pretty much the same staff. I mean, there was just one change with Brian Polian. Was this the best visit yet for you?
See, it's kind of hard to say which has been my best or my favorite because I feel like I've had great times and different experiences each time I came to LSU. I really can't say whether each one has topped another one, but I've had great experiences every time.
From what I'm seeing on your, LSU's tight ends room, only continues to deepen. I mean, this is just a room that's only getting bigger by the class, by the season. This year they'll have Mason Taylor, Kamorion Pimpton, Mac Markway, Jackson McGowan, 3 freshmen, 1 experienced sophomore. For your class, there's yourself already, LSU commit. Plus, there's heavy talk of Tradez Green eventually signing with LSU. That's potentially 6 different tight ends for 2024, Tayvion. Then 5 in 2025. With all this competition continuing to build, how solid is your LSU commitment right now, you think?
I'm just as committed as I've ever been. My committed has never flaked at all. I've always been 1,000% committed to the program and the Brian Kelly effect. So, I'm all in with it. And I really don't see it as competition. I see it as guys I'm able to work with, and they're my teammates. I feel like with the what Coach Denbrock sees with the tight ends, each tight end is going to have their own role, and I feel like we're all going to be able to play it very well. We're all going to be able to play at a high level, and it's just going to be a battle night in and night out each practice to see who's going to get the most reps one night or the next week. Everybody's just going to be working and grinding hard, and it's still sharp and still. So going against the best is going to make you the best ultimately.
What's crazy is, I mean, I was saying this to Mac Markway, man, is like, hey, there's going to be two tight ends on pretty much every play. So you're going to have a chance to play a lot. Like,
Yeah.
the chance is going to be there. I mean, it's not like, oh, well, there's going to be the one tight end blocking guy and there's 4 or 5 wideouts. This is a different offense than a lot of people around LSU are used to.
Yeah.
Tight ends might end up kind of usurping the receivers in getting the number of targets.
Yeah. But I think things like that, it's kind of expected for tight ends to have a big role whenever you have a coach like Coach Denbrock and Coach Brian Kelly. The tight ends are going to be fed, especially whenever you're getting the talent that we have. I feel like it's going to work out great in the tight end room.
Well, I mean, absolutely. I mean, it's just stacked, and it's guys who are fantastic at blocking as well as making plays with the ball in their hands and then after. And when you see LSU just stacking the talent and having a top 10 2024 class, what are your thoughts, Tayvion, on this current class, your class?
My thoughts is as long as we keep our heads down, keep grinding, and keep going on with the BK effect like we should, I see nothing but national titles in our future. I mean that's what I've been preaching since I committed, and I'm gonna continue to preach that we're gonna win national titles. And I'm trying to recruit the best to play with us, so we get there.
Which of your teammates are you like really closest with, Tayvion?
I'll probably say Colin Hurley. That's a guy. That's a guy that I'm always keeping up with.
Hurley, man, we all gotta. I mean, you just gotta love Hurley. I mean, I know
Yeah.
you're friends with Colin Hurley. I know he's probably friends with most of the guys. Your 2024 class quarterback. Have you two been able to actually meet?
No, but we definitely plan on doing that. Even maybe possibly my next time coming to LSU, I plan on coming in June. So hopefully we can link up and everything and get some working together.
Fantastic. I mean, he's a potential transcendent player, Tayvion. I mean, what kind of partnership could you two have in this LSU offense together? You think, as Denbrock and Kelly even like mentioned stuff like that?
Whenever we talk football, with my role, they plan on me being kind of like a wad, that they want me to be able to block some plays and get out there and also be able to do things out in the passing game. With a guy like Colin Hurley, obviously we're expecting great things out of that.
Absolutely, and we just see it every day. I mean, and you also have a great social media presence too. You kind of you and Hurley both kind of remind me of each other because of the way you kind of are loved by the fan base. But after watching a full season of this LSU offense, under Denbrock and Kelly, are you more excited about playing for LSU, or still like wanting to see how things kind of come together in year 2?
The past season, it definitely made me real excited. For me, ultimately getting to LSU, just seeing what they was able to do with just Mason Taylor. No discredit to him, but I definitely feel like whenever I get there, we're going to be able to do a lot more using the tight ends, and we're going to see a lot more things. I feel like with Mason Taylor, they just showed some flashes, but whenever we have our whole complete tight end room, I feel we're going to be real dangerous.
Have Ohio State continued to kind of pursue you deep in your recruiting process, or have they kind of shut things down?
Yeah, it's to the point to where they shut things down. I never really had hard interest in them, and I think they just see my firm belief in the BK effect, and I'm fully committed.
Man, it's fantastic to get another Ohio Tiger because, I mean, even Corey Kiner, though he's transferred, gone back to the state of Ohio, Cincinnati, he was fantastic at LSU, and he had a great little 2-year career there at LSU. He's actually I actually loved what he did at LSU. He was kind of jumping over guys. And then, of course, Joe Burrow. So Ohio has a pretty damn good track record at LSU for us. But, I mean, speaking of, you where you're coming from in Ohio. Your brother, right? Is it Deej Calloway, 2025 cornerback? Is that your brother?
That's not my brother.
Oh,
No,
so I think was it Darren Jr.? I think someone who
Darren.
yeah, he posted it, said, "Do you recognize the name?" And I was
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
thinking,
Just another Galloway. It's just he was just making a little joke out of it.
okay, I was thinking like this can't be. I mean, this is a joke, I get, but like, is he really meaning that Tayvion? Okay, never mind. But you know, Tayvion, it's very interesting to me. I saw a post of yours where you played football with the Chillicothe Ohio Youths in the park. And what are some of the unique challenges the young people face across Southern Ohio, your hometown, where you come from?
Um, I mean, I feel like obviously Chillicothe is not the worst place, but there's definitely a lot that goes on around here, from things like drugs or just kids just really getting lost and not really having the right guidance around. With a lot of their parents either on drugs or just on to other things. A lot of people don't really get the guidance that they need. So a lot of people don't even look towards sports, or even if they do, they're not really putting their all into it. They're worried about other things like trying to get into the streets or trying to do all this other stuff. And they really just don't see the path that's right there in front of them. So I definitely try to light up a path and show kids that there's a way other than the fast money.
That's true. That's what they call. And what you're doing takes a lot of hard work, takes a lot of grinding, 2-a-day practices, all that crazy stuff, all the sweat. People, they just see the season, but I mean, the off season is where most of that grind happens. People rarely even see it. It's kind of
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah, a lot of people like to think of it as I'm taking the easy route, but in my eyes, it's the hard route because it's the route that nobody in my circumstances chooses and nobody really stays committed to. A lot of people say they want it, but they don't show that.
Well, we see it from you, man, every day. I mean, you put on exhibition with some of your workouts. I mean, what was it? Just a few months ago, there was some film you shared with me where they had to your coaches, your trainers had to literally like harness your competitive fire from the other opponent. I mean, like you just were like a cage animal right there, man. Like you were ready to go at the guy. Like
Yeah, yeah. My guy Darren, especially before the event, he was hyping me up and just letting me know like what I had to do. He was like, you gotta show your role. He's like, every time you're out there, he's like, you can't let nobody even seem like they can mess with you. So that's really just the energy I came in with, and I was just coming at everybody.
I love it. I love it. And he had the right advice because I feel like that was exactly what you needed to show
Yeah.
at that time. And I think that definitely helped with you. I mean, what is the number one thing you need to work on, you think, this season to arrive at LSU in your peak performance?
I feel like naturally I'm just all around as a tight end. I feel like I really have all my versatility, but I'm really just working on the little things, making sure my blocking techniques is right. I'm obviously getting stronger in the weight room and just everything like that. I'm getting more explosive. I've gotten a lot more faster since last year, and I'm really excited to show my times this year whenever I do like combines and stuff. But I've just been working on everything. I've been working on my soft hands, my vertical, just all things like that. Just really bringing my game together.
Well, man, I mean, I think the year before you had something like 3 touchdowns, and then this last year, 697, 6 touchdowns, 36 catches. Fantastic, fantastic season. I mean, in our last interview, you told me your number one goal for the 22 season this last year was to dominate, prove you were the nation's best tight end, and help Chillicothe win a state title. What letter grade would you give yourself on accomplishing that goal?
So the all around goals, I definitely as a team or even as myself didn't achieve what I wanted to do. But with what I was allowed to and what was in my hands, I feel like I did a pretty good job, and I'll give myself a B on that.
Absolutely. And you're someone who's very upfront and proud of being a Christian. You
Yeah.
wear your faith unafraid, and in today's society, that may not be the coolest thing for a young man pursuing the career you are. Have you ever had to like fight for your faith, kind of defend your values in the moment?
Um, Really, I don't think I have to put a lot of defense for my faith. My faith speaks for itself. If anybody wants to speak against that, that's just ignorance to me. I have no reason even trying to go against that. My faith is as strong as ever, and can't nobody even debate me on that.
It's fantastic. Where are the roots, do you think, of your strong belief in Jesus Christ? Where does that come from?
I feel like it really just comes from, well, my father is what really got me big on my faith. He used to always teach me a lot of things and really taught me the basics of Christianity for real, because I always lived around it. But he's what really got me to understanding it. And then I feel like just the trials and tribulations I faced at a young age, just seeing where my faith has gotten me. That's what's made it incredible for me.
Well, you just mentioned trials and tribulations. What kind of trials and tribulations have you faced, Tayvion? And
Really just growing up in a tough situation, never really having both of my parents around, and just a lot of other little things that I had to face through at a young age, and really just handle it all on my own.
man, I mean that. I've seen a few guys go through that same situation in my little time doing this, short experience of doing this, and they always turn out to be some of the most mature guys on the team, the most well put together guys on the team who, and then afterwards they usually have a very successful life, not just only a career, because they can see the pitfalls around the bend where other people can't, because they've been there and
Yeah,
they know what it's like, and so they've seen other people around them maybe go down the pitfalls. you know it's very impressive to me, Tavion, what you've been able to do. I'm so excited for you to be a Tiger, and thank you for committing to this class, to this team. We actually have a few viewer comments up in here.
okay.
Chance Babin says they both have good hair too, and then Chance Babin, Spencer Ware too from Ohio. Chance Babin says, which game next fall are you attending?
I'm not sure. I was looking to attend the Florida game.
Yes, yes, yes. Absolutely. That's going to be a fantastic one. Napier versus Kelly part 2.
Yeah, I definitely want to see a night game though, for sure.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Tavion, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you so much for your time. I hope to do this with you again very soon. We'll be
Yes, sir.
following
Most
you
definitely.
every step of the way, brother. You have a fantastic night, man.
Yes, sir. You have a good one.
Peace, Tavion.
Yeah. Bye.
Tayvion Galloway, everybody. Tayvion Galloway. 2024 LSU commit and number 1 ranked overall player out of Ohio. There's a lot of other tight ends who sometimes seem to get more shine, more love than he does, more play in the media, in the recruiting world. I think he doesn't get enough love. I think a lot of people underestimate some of his abilities because of maybe the league he plays in, the state he comes from. Maybe people underestimate things like that. But I absolutely love what I see from Tayvion. I love the type of person he is. I love that he's very unafraid very fearless. So I think competition to him, like he said, 5, 6 tight ends deep in that room, he doesn't care. He's going to fight for that playing time. So I think that type of stuff, the adversity he's faced, the obstacles he's faced, I think that type of stuff's going to have absolutely benefit him when he arrives at LSU. Thank you so much for watching. This was LSUODYSSEY.com. On Philip Sullivan. I guess I can say my name in the third person horribly. That sounds awful, but talking to 2024 LSU commit Tayvion Galloway. What a kid, and awesome young man. Cannot wait for him to get on campus. LSU becoming tight end university, guys. And it's becoming a national thing, not just, Louisiana tight ends. We're going national. Mac Markway out of St. Louis, Missouri. Smed, Mason Taylor out of St. Thomas Aquinas in Florida. Kamorion Pimpton. The list goes on and on and on of guys we're cherry picking from across the country. And then Tradez Green, local badass from, is it East or West Feliciana? Someone from one of the Felicianas is going to absolutely stab me in the face if I get that wrong. So I'm just going to say Tradez Green from Feliciana High School. Everybody, have a good one. Thank you so much for watching. Tayvion Galloway, what an awesome dude. definitely check out our previous interview, which is linked in the bottom in the description. Have a good one.